Hey, it's Adriel, the hunting gear guy. Today I've got a scope to review. This is a Bushnell 22 Rimfire 3-9x32. This is a smaller scope, quite a bit more inexpensive than most of the scopes that I review. But I had a 22 that I needed a scope for, and I'll just tell a little bit later on why I chose to go with one of these. But let me just kind of zoom into the specs there. And you can see there that this does come with the rings on there. So those rings are for dovetail style receivers, which most 22s have. But note that some 22s out there will have the drill and tap kind of scope mounts where you need to screw them in, and this is not for those. And primarily, the big reason why I wanted to pick this up was that 50-yard zero that you see there. Sorry, the 50-yard parallax setting. I have another scope that's kind of just sitting here, and that's my Bushnell Elite 3200. This is arguably a much better scope than this one. The optics are better. It's more robust, more reliable, more expensive. But what this doesn't, what this has is a fixed 100-yard parallax, and it doesn't have a parallax adjustment on it. So this one is not going to be that great for close-in shooting, which I'm primarily going to do with this 22. So instead of using the scope I already had, I went and picked up this new Bushnell Rimfire scope. So let's crack it open here. I've already opened this thing once, so if you see some wrinkles or anything like that in there, just keep in mind that's probably not like that from the factory. Just I repackaged it so that I could show you guys. The packaging's pretty cheap, but it does the trick. There's a lens cleaning cloth there, silica gel. That's supposed to have an Allen key in it, but I've got it kicking around here somewhere. There's a manual, like you really need one. It does come with an Allen key, so you can tighten down the scope rings if you need to. And there's the scope. It's just kind of wrapped in this bubble paper, whatever stuff that is in there. Let's kind of throw it off to the side. And the plastic bag here. So again, the presentation on this isn't beautiful, but it does a trick. I'm just going to get all this other stuff off the table here so we can get down to the scope. So the scope itself is about as long as, maybe a little bit shorter than my 3-9x40. This is a 32 millimeter objective. Chuck that off to the side. We've got these bikini style scope caps that are just kind of have this bungee cord kind of stuff in between them. One of these has a tinted lens and the other one has a clear. These are kind of nice because you can leave them on if you want to. If you're walking around and you need to take a really quick shot, you can still leave these on. But if you've got time, you can also take them off. Coming down to the scope itself, a couple things that I like, a couple things that I dislike. Some of the things that I dislike, this zoom knob doesn't feel the best on it. The turrets themselves are nice and short. You know, I was kind of comparing this thing to one of the Vortex 22 scopes out there. I think it's called the 22 Mag. And the scope cap covers on that one are really, really tall. And I didn't want those big turrets caps kind of sticking out. So I ended up going with this one mostly for that reason. And just within our scope, come on. Within our scope caps there we've got these are not really finger turnable. This is more like you need a quarter or a dime in your pocket to be able to grab that and click it over. But we've got 1/4-inch clicks on those, so that's alright. I mean, I don't mind the construction around it. It's steel, it's utilitarian. And given the price point, these scopes go for right around 50 bucks. That's alright. Heading to the rear of the unit here, that's where we've got this zoom knob. Let me just crank in on that, and you can see there that we've got these zoom setting numbers here, and we can kind of cycle through them from 9 all the way back to 3. There is a locking, or at least a kind of some threads visible here. That's probably where this eyepiece kind of screws on there. No, it's not screwing on there. We've got a jam nut here. That's what that is. So there's a jam nut and an eyepiece here as well. On the top, nothing really adjustable there. This is just our standard eyepiece, 32 millimeter. 32 millimeter. So it's a little bit smaller, but I'm primarily going to shoot this thing in the day. I don't need a whole bunch of light going in there, so 32 millimeter is going to do me just fine. Zoom back out on there. The optics quality on this thing is kind of so-so, but at the same time, keeping in mind that this is for use on a 22. I'm not going to use it at night, so I don't need fantastic light gathering capability. The optics will be fine for me. The chromatic aberration wasn't all that bad. There wasn't like really purpley fringes or anything like that. That would be too heinous on it. The rings that it comes with, these Allen head tops aren't bad. I kind of dislike these flat heads on the side here though. I'd rather these be Allen just to put the correct torque on them. But other than that, not all that bad. So this has been the Bushnell 22 Rimfire 3-9x32. Thanks for watching.